Hello, hello, hello. I am Wendy. This is Pajama Days. Welcome to my channel. I'm a school teacher and school is out, so I just am a little bit, a little lighter or something. But I love what I do and I love my kids. So it's not a personal kind of thing. It's a boy, I'm tired and I need rest, and now I get to rest and I get excited about getting to rest. So I'm excited to have a few weeks out of school and recharge and start it all over again. But I want to talk today about Reclast. When I started my breast cancer journey, I was diagnosed in November of 2020. Now, if I seem more lit up, it's because I'm using my iPad for my notes. And it's lit up, so it is what it is. I would like for my little text thing to go away, but anyway, it's fine. I was diagnosed in 2020, and it seemed like for a few months I was constantly on the go. I saw a surgeon talk to me about what was going to happen, and they were going to do biopsy, and then biopsy led to another lumpectomy, another procedure. And after that, I had to have another surgical procedure to check lymph nodes. So there were 3 different go to sleep surgeries. And right after that, I was referred to an oncologist. I was referred from the oncologist to a radiologist. The oncologist also sent me to a dentist to get my teeth and gums checked before I could start on hormone blockers. Hormone blockers are hard on your teeth and bones, so it's real important to take Caltrate or calcium and vitamin D. And I had already started taking multivitamins during the whole COVID thing because I teach school, and so I felt like I was a tiny bit ahead of the game there, and I had gotten in a routine of taking vitamins with my morning medicines. But the oncologist also sent me to get a DEXA scan at a radiology place in Dalton. And the DEXA scan, according to, I don't really know who reads a DEXA scan for the oncologist, if he did it himself or if somebody at the radiology place did it, but they told me that I had osteoporosis from the get-go. Well, that's very concerning because hormone blockers cause your bones to get brittle and weaker. So the oncologist scheduled me for an infusion of Reclast. Reclast is one type of zoledronic acid, I think I'm saying that right, that strengthens your bones. An infusion gets injected like an IV, but an infusion takes longer than an injection. An injection is usually quicker, if I understand correctly. And I have no medical background, so I may not have that exactly right. But the infusion of Reclast took at least half an hour to 45 minutes, something like that. And the doctor that I was going to at the time didn't tell me anything about anything I needed to do to prep myself for that. It was just kind of like, show up, you'll be here 30, 45 minutes, and then you're free to go. And they did tell me that it gives people flu-like symptoms sometimes. So I knew that up front, but I'm also in a support group for anastrozole and aromatase inhibitors, which is the category for the medicine that anastrozole and letrozole are in. There are others, but those are the only two I have taken. So I was sent for this Reclast infusion, and the support group that I am a part of, a lot of people had that already and said, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Drink a lot of water before you go, like that day, that morning. Take water with you, drink water while you're getting your infusion. And I thought that was it. But what I didn't realize is you really need to keep staying hydrated for the rest of that day as long as you can, because of what zoledronic acid does, strengthening your bones. It's about 12 hours after I had that infusion, I started chills and fever and body aches in a major way. And I'm not talking excruciating pain, but very much flu-like symptoms, hurting all over. And it's the bones that, it's that medicine affecting your bones, and they ache, and I'm sure it was just doing its job, but it just made me really sick. And I wasn't just sick for like 24 hours. I was sick for days, like body aches, fever. I expected the fever to go away in a day or so, and it did not. It persisted. So when we went back, excuse me, to the oncologist after that, like months later, when they asked, first of all, I did see the oncologist, but I did most of my talking and updating with a physician's assistant or a nurse practitioner that I had never seen before. And maybe the person was even a student. I don't know. She was really nice, but the doctor wasn't in there while she was in there. And then after she left, the doctor came in, and she wasn't in there when the doctor was in there. And a few weeks after that appointment, I got a phone call from an endocrinologist, and they were wanting to set me up an appointment. Well, I didn't know who had referred me to an endocrinologist. I have a general practitioner that I see on a regular basis because they were watching my sugar. After I went on hormone blockers, I eased right into diabetes, and I had already been getting close to diabetes for several years, but I was able to maintain a healthy A1C without going over that line to be classified as diabetic. So I really didn't know why I was referred to an endocrinologist, and I didn't know who had referred me. So when they called to make an appointment, I was like, no, I'm not going to do that, because I don't know why I'm doing that. And they didn't have any information for me, so I didn't do that. Well, the next time I went to that oncologist, he said, "What did the endocrinologist say?" And I was like, "Oh, you sent me to the endocrinologist?" Because I didn't know why the endocrinologist called me at all. And he was kind of irritated that I didn't go, but I didn't know. So I set up an appointment and saw the endocrinologist. That endocrinologist told me that only endocrinologists are qualified to read a DEXA scan. I don't know about that. Unless they send them to him, I don't think they do. I mean, he was kind of criticizing what I had been told, and he said, well, from what I'm seeing, there's one picture that's not clear. I'm not convinced you have osteoporosis, and the reason the oncologist had even sent me to him was because there are other options besides Reclast that you can take maybe twice a year or quarterly or something like that, and not that big, powerful once a year or once every 2 years or whatever kind of medicine. So, excuse me. So I I talked to the people who do the DEXA scan, and insurance was not going to pay for me to have another DEXA scan that year. They only do them every 2 years. I was in the midst of changing oncologist for a long list of reasons, not just one reason, not just two reasons, but quite a few. If you don't feel like your doctor is the best fit for you, advocate for yourself, ask your friends questions. Everybody knows somebody who's been to probably all kinds of doctors. Get as much information as you can and find somebody that's a good fit for you. So I heard about a different oncologist at a different location, and her personality seemed like a better fit for me in the bedside manner that I need. So I tried her, I met her, and I consulted with her, and I clicked with her. So, and my husband has gone to every single appointment with me on this journey. And I don't mean annual physicals and all. Well, there was one year he went to that too. When everybody was wearing masks, he would go with me to everything because I have a hearing problem and I read lips, and I couldn't see anybody's lips, and I couldn't tell what everybody was saying, and he was my extra ears, and what a blessing that was. But I chased a squirrel and I lost my place. But anyway, I went to the endocrinologist. The endocrinologist didn't think I had osteoporosis. And when I went to the new oncologist, she said, we won't worry about Reclast this year. We will get you a DEXA scan when insurance will approve it. So I didn't have that until January of 2023. So it had been 2 years since the previous one. And she was a little puzzled as to why I was referred to an endocrinologist at all, because she prescribes other medications besides Reclast. I know there's one called Prolia that you take more often than once a year, but I didn't want to do that if I didn't have to, because I don't want to go to more appointments. There's something about this journey that is like angering, because sometimes you feel stuck in a box and you're just tumbling along and having to jump through hoops and do what you're told to do, and it's like a loss of control in parts of your life. And it's not the end of the world. It's not horrible. It's just kind of a pain. When I started taking hormone blockers, I even had a complication at one point and had to go to my gynecologist. So there I was seeing the surgeon regularly. I was seeing an oncologist regularly. I was having to go to a dentist. I had not been to a dentist in several years. Had to find a dentist. Radiologist. I mean, it's just one thing and then another and then another and then another. And once you start radiology is every day, 5 days a week for however many weeks you have to take it. And I had 33 days of radiation. So 35 would have been 7 weeks. So it was just under 7 weeks that I had to go Monday through Friday, no matter what, and have radiation before I went to school in the morning. But when I had that second DEXA scan in January of 2023, the result of that was no osteoporosis. You have osteopenia that is in line with your age, what's to be expected at your age. So either I was misdiagnosed altogether, or that Reclast really did its job. I don't know. And I'm not mad at anybody. I mean, you just roll. I just roll with the punches. That's my personality. But my gynecologist did say every woman close to 50, especially over 50, needs to be taking calcium and vitamin D. Vitamin D has different strengths, and I'm not talking milligrams. There's a IU. I don't even know what IU stands for. The standard thing that you get is like 1,000 IUs. She said, get one that is 5,000 IUs. She said, I take it myself every day because our bones with age, I guess, deteriorate to some degree. And we want to keep them as strong as we can. So, I have started doing that, and what I do is I actually accidentally bought a 1,000 IUs. I bought the wrong thing one time, and I don't want to waste it, so I take my 5,000 IUs every other day. And I just had blood work last week, and my calcium, vitamin D, those numbers were just a hair under what they want them to be, but it wasn't concerning. So I may do that 2 days in a row, that 5,000 I use 2 days in a row, and just take that one that I'm just not wanting to throw away, those in between days. So that's just my plan. I'm really, really thankful that I have found good doctors that I feel like are excellent caretakers of me on this journey. I changed general practitioners and oncologists really close together, and for different reasons for both. But I'm really, really happy where I am with my doctors. And I even though I'm only having to see most of them every 6 months or 3 months or whatever, my oncologist is every 6 months. My general practitioner maybe more often. But I just am really thankful to have people that I feel like I really trust, and they have really good bedside manners, and they're encouraging and positive and all the things that I need for them to be. And I'm not a person who doesn't get along with people. I pretty much can get along with everybody. But, if I have some serious issue and I have to be in the hospital and stuff like that, I want to know that the people who I deal with are going to be positive. And that's just a big deal to me. I'm picky like that. So, if you're on this journey, number one, you're not alone. Number two, advocate for yourself. Number three, if you don't even know what questions to ask and you're overwhelmed, find yourself a support group. There's a really cool Facebook support group. Why don't I just look at the name of it? That would be the most helpful. It starts with anastrozole. When I was taking anastrozole, I had such a difficult experience. I nicknamed it Anastisole. I really did. And so sometimes when I'm in that support group, I'll say, when I was on anastrozole, parentheses, Anastisole, laughing face. That Facebook group is called Anastrozole, and in parentheses, Arimidex /letrozole /exemestane /tamoxifen hormone support group. And that lists all of those AIs. I don't even know if tamoxifen falls in the AIs group, but I know Arimidex is the name brand for anastrozole. Letrozole, exemestane are all AIs. And then tamoxifen may not classify as an AI, but it was given for breast cancer, I think, even before there were these other medicines. So, just trying to throw some information at you. If you need support, there's support out there. If you don't really know what to ask your doctor, I totally understand. I've been there. Feel free to drop questions in my comments. Feel free to jump in this Facebook group. You do have to join. I have a button I could invite. I'm not an administrator on the page, but it sure has helped to have a place to go to ask a lot of other people at one time, what's your experience with this? Is there anything I need to know? They're the people who said, before you take Reclast, make sure you drink a lot of water. During your infusion, make sure you drink a lot of water. I wish somebody had said, after you get home, keep drinking a lot of water. It might have been the exact same outcome. I might have just had to go through those flu-like symptoms anyway. But for what it's worth, I did go 12 hours before those things hit, those symptoms. But thankfully, I do not have to take Reclast anymore, or Prolia, or anything like that, because all I have is osteopenia, and I'm taking my calcium and my vitamin D for my bones. So that's all that I'm going to do today. I hope that you have a blessed day. I do want to share one little thing. Even in your storm, you can still be positive and be a blessing everywhere you go. And this morning, I was at my oncologist for an update, just a follow-up, 6-month follow-up. And while the nurse was talking to my husband about the weather, she was talking about rain, and this little song popped in my heart from my childhood called Little Flowers. And I started singing that little song, and the nurse had never heard it, and she just loved it. And she asked me before I left, what was the name of that song again? And I said, Little Flowers. Little flowers never worry. They don't fret because they know if it never rained, then we'd never grow. I don't know who wrote it, but it's a beautiful and precious song. And I'm sure you can find it on YouTube if you want to hear it. I would sing it, but I might get flagged for copyright, so I won't. I hope you have a blessed day. Bye-bye.